The third thing that is very, very important is that you are making sure that there is a quality score that is maintained and crisis playbook is followed. So for example, for everything you should have a playbook in picture, be it social media, be ORM, be crisis. And you have to make sure that your people are following that playbook only. They are not just going blindly by their own choice, but they should be following a playbook, and they should be a bias detection metric. Basically, I started my career in this specific field 11 years back. So in total, I have 11 to 12 years, almost 12 years of experience. I was 18 years old almost when I started my journey in this. So I joined, if you know this organization, I joined a very small organization that was Convergys. It was very famous at that time in 2011. It was a very big BP and the first BP of Gurgaon. So when I was working there as a customer care professional, I was moved to social media team, wherein all my job was to answer the queries that were coming on social media. From there, I entered the world of social media, wherein I had to take the customers' feedback, I have to respond it on time and make sure that the average stat which is there is maintained. From there, I started my journey and worked with multiple organizations. Like I've worked with, if I take names of the few, I've worked with Google India for 2 years. I have worked with American Express, Adobe India, Airbnb, Hike Messenger, Jungly Games, a lot of organizations. And it has been a good roller coaster ride. But when I decided to come into ORM was in 2015 when I was with American Express. I got a chance to move to Philippines to set up a process over there. And the process was to make sure that all the App Store reviews we are getting are addressed on time. And there was also some of the reviews campaign that we were doing in-house. So that is when I stepped into social media. Slowly with time, I stepped into Google. I got a chance to work with the product managers who were building Google Pay at that time. So Google Pay was Google Tays at that point of time. So it started with Google Tays. Later on, we changed it to Google Pay, February 2017. And I got a chance to work with Google team in Hyderabad. And I was a part of social media team. So all the escalations that were coming on social media, on Twitter, whatever people were talking, all the rants that they were getting, that we are getting, every time we scratch a card, it's like better luck next time. That was the most common rant, I think, for Google so far. So from there, I started my ORM career, wherein I was supposed to handle the reputation of the brand on all the social media platforms, be it's Facebook, Insta, Twitter, Quora, Mouseshirt, Reddit, who is now in the picture, but till Reddit. So there I started my career completely into social media. Then I wanted to start my journey with startups, because startups were like, I have always been somebody who goes with the trend. So startup was something that everyone was going into. And at that point of time, Airbnb was launching its venture in India by the name of AirSeva. And their first venture was in Gurgaon. So I was a part of the third batch in Airbnb, and I got a chance to handle their social media and monitoring team. So I used to make sure that all the reviews we are getting, we are able to maintain a rating of 4.2 was the average. Then I have to make sure that all the crises, for example, if somebody is saying, some of the hosts are renting out on social, they are getting the response on time, and we are escalating the matter to legal or to the correct team and getting the responses done. So I had a team of 7 people working under me, and I got that fixed. Then slowly I wanted to do some certifications in ORM. So I did my certification from Academy of Google Ads. I got certified from Google into ORM, and I think I'm one of those few people in India who are ORM certified. So I wanted to make sure that I am building my own, not only resume, but my own personality like that I am somebody who doesn't have any certifications and working into a field. I wanted to make sure that I hold the necessary certifications, and then I work ahead. Then when I got that certification, there were a lot of companies those reached out to me, because a lot of companies did not know what ORM stands for. They did not know what reputation management is. They used to mix it with PR. Okay, so generally PR people or the customer service people used to handle the complaints that used to come on social. So over there, I told them that how important it is to have a different team handling the escalations that are coming on social media, and a team that is handling crisis or some postings that are happening on Quora rather than customer service. So don't treat them like the same. A complaint that is coming on a call or over an email is very different from a rant that is coming on Twitter, right? Because now social media is like, people make memes and they'll make you viral, and you would never know that you wake up some morning and you will see 2,000 shares and 5,000 escalations and you can't do anything, which will not happen over a call or an email. Very rare. So now when social media is everywhere, you have to make sure that you have a different team handling those accounts, right? Because you know that customers are very finicky. Even I am. It's very different in terms of its sentiment. Now, in PR, you don't have sentiment analysis or benchmarkings. You have that in ORM. So if you are writing to me on Twitter or be on Instagram or Facebook, if you're writing an email to me, I would never go ahead and check the sentiment of that email, okay? If your verbatim was positive, negative, neutral, I would. The best that the team would do for any company, I think, is that they're going to send you a survey, you're going to reply, and if you fill a 10, it's a good. If you fill a 7, it's a neutral. And if you fill a 1, it's a DSAT. That's how they do. But there's no sentiment analysis happening at all. But when you're writing on social media, if I'm getting 10 complaints on social, I'm going to analyze that how many complaints drives a positive sentiment, how many are driving a neutral sentiment, and how many are driving a positive sentiment. So you have a sentiment analysis basis on which you can develop your strategy for that particular platform. And you can go ahead and know that, okay, this is the kind of rant that I'm getting. These are the kinds of words customers are using for me. So I have to work on a positive strategy or a neutral strategy to change my sentiment from neutral to positive or negative to neutral. So that deep down data analytics that happens is only happening on social media. So right now you go to Instagram will give you entire data wherein they will tell you that this is the sentiment that you are driving from Instagram, which will not happen over email or call, right? So I think that is the reason people are more entitled towards social media, because companies itself are very, very much conscious about their reputation, that no one should rant on social, right? No one should make memes, because right now meme making is very common. So I think everyone is now getting more inclined towards managing their reputation on a global scale. On PR, you can manage the reputation. For example, there's a negative article, you can publish 7 positive articles, and that's gonna come on the second page of Google. So SEO can help you over there. Okay, proper SEO can help you. But when it comes to social media, nothing can help you. If there's a negative tweet that you have done against me, I cannot have 7 positive tweets to counter that negative tweet. But I know that on that negative tweet, I can get 70 more negative tweets and 270 more shares. So that is the capacity for it to go viral is very much a lot more as compared to PR. So that is how they two differ. Most of ORM is organic. PR is not only organic. Some people hire agency to do their PR. Some people go ahead and do it themselves if they're a small startup. But when it comes to ORM, you gonna have it all organic. You cannot have somebody posting reviews on your behalf. I think that is not something which I prefer. So yeah. When it comes to ORM strategy, I have 4 to 5 things that I take care of. One is data analysis, very important. I always analyze data. Second is automation, that I lay a lot of emphasis on. Third is predictive analysis and predictive analytics, that I do a lot. Then I also make sure that I do personalization and crisis management. So these are 5 things in ORM. Now, data analysis is like that is where you have AI into picture. Okay. AI can process vast amounts of data quickly and accurately. Okay. PR professional can use AI tools to analyze media coverage, social media trends, and customer sentiment. They can get valuable insights for AI. But when it comes to ORM, it is very important that the data you are getting out of tool, you know how to flush the spam and how to get use of the cream you are getting, which is the positive, negative, neutral sentiment. For example, for ORM, you always need a tool to fetch the data. Okay. So if I have a tool, for example, Locobuzz, and I know that all the buzz I'm getting on social and traditional media, I'm going to get on that tool. Now I got 1,000 conversations on that tool. I should know to bifurcated, wherein 200 messages are spam, they are of no use. 800 messages are of my use. Amongst these 800 messages, I know that 250 messages are positive, 300 are neutral, and 200, for example, or 250 are negative. That is first thing. Then those 200s that were spam, I have to slowly and gradually make sure that I enter those keywords in the tool, that next time the tool will not fetch the data only of those spam. You're getting it? So next time when I want to track my conversations, it will only come as 800 conversations, not 1000. Those 200 spam, I have automated them. Do not get generated as a ticket. So automation is very, very important. And I think AI-powered chatbots and virtual assistants can handle routing customers' inquiries and streamlining communications in that regard. And when it comes to PR, this allows PR's team to focus on more strategic tasks, is what I believe. And of course, predictive analysis and personalization. And as we go further in this interview, I'll definitely talk about how important personalization and crisis management is in terms of AI, PR, and comms field. My last organization was Max Life Insurance. So I was a face of two major campaigns that Max Life Insurance did. One was Secret Santa that we did on Christmas. Another one was a campaign we did on Women's Day. Okay. Secret Santa campaign was one of the biggest campaigns that Max Life did. And that was a campaign wherein we were going to the community that you call as the labor class, or maybe sweepers, cleaners, those who clean the road. We went to them and we wanted to give them that Secret Santa hat, that actually you are the Santa. Like Santa comes at night and give us gifts, and in the morning we are surprised with the gifts. That's what kids know Santa for. But when it comes to these people who clean our houses, people who actually clean the roads and make sure that everything is clean and tidy, they are the actual Santas of our life, because they are cleaning the shit that's going around on the roads. So we should go ahead and also recognize them about what they are doing, for what they are doing, and tell them how important they are for the society. So that was a Secret Santa, and we told them that you are the Santa of our lives, because there's a gift you call cleanliness that you guys have given us. Because of you, we have clean roads. We can move with that, without having those dirt and all coming across. Or maybe when it comes to cleaning our houses, I think the maids that come in our houses and clean the houses, they are the real Santas that help us doing our household chores and make things easy for us. So that was one of the campaigns. The other campaign was Women's Day campaign, wherein I spoke about the importance of women being economically and financially active about life insurance. And generally what I have also done, and most of the women's we do, is that we make our husband, or maybe our brothers, or maybe our father, as the primary person who's going to handle our finances. But no matter how much we go ahead in life, and you might have heard one of the interviews of Alia Bhatt wherein she said that my father handled my finances, or my mother handled my finances. Still, when I'm earning so much, when she's charging like 50 odd crores for a movie, or maybe a person who's earning 50,000 or 2 lakhs or 5 lakhs a month, still they give that responsibility to one of their family members, that please you handle my finances, or maybe to their CAs if they can afford a CA. But basically, I believe that women themselves should be that much capable, that they should not only be fixed or maybe aligned to this aura that they can only handle house, or they can only handle an office well, but they should also be able to handle their finances well. They should also know about term insurance, life insurance, and all of that. So that was the biggest campaign. Even if you go to Max Life Instagram page, you will see that I was a face of multiple campaigns over there. And that was, I think, an extremely nice opportunity that they have given me, and I'm always honored to be a part of it. And I've worked with biggest agencies on that, maybe FCB, Edelman, Kantar, and all of that. But I think, yeah, these are the two campaigns that I've been a part of that were really, really major in my success. See, measuring success is very different for different parameters. Okay. When it comes to how I'm going to measure the success, it wasn't it was a success in terms of getting the teams aligned and having a crisis playbook in picture and following that playbook and getting the statement out. But that success can always be measured by the time when you are giving the outcome or coming across as somebody who's helping people out, be on social or be on customer service. For example, if you have 10 surveys on call and you have eight people giving you positive, over there you will define success as 80% CSAT or 90% CSAT. But on social, you will define success as the positive sentiments you are driving in that particular month. So that particular month, I was not able to drive success because my negative sentiment went to 37%. So that was a failure for our team, that crisis came and, we were not able to, though we were dependent on other teams, because I can't put out a statement myself until and unless I have a statement from legal team ready. And the statement was given to me on Monday. But as a ORM, managing the reputation, overall for the team, it was not a successful metric. It was like a failure because we were not able to give out a statement within 24 hours that about this issue, which we should ideally be doing. So I think different parameters have different metrics to define success. Sentiment is not the only thing that we look at. There are a lot of things that we look at. We look at content originality score. We look at contextual relevance score. We look at trustworthiness score, content consistency checker. There are a lot of things. But when it comes to ORM, there are multiple metrics. First is you check the TAT. For example, if a customer is responding, is sending an issue to you at 8 p.m. at night, and you're responding to it at 8 a.m. in the morning, then there's a 12-hour TAT that you have crossed. So over there, you have to make sure that you are automating that, wherein there's an auto response that is being sent out to the customer as soon as that customer is sending us a query. So that is where automation comes into picture. So first thing that you look at is TAT. Another is quality score. So basically, when you're responding to the customer or your team is responding, of course, to the customer, they should have a proper macro that they are using and following that macro. There shouldn't be a spelling error. There shouldn't be a grammatical error, because on social media, you cannot afford it. You never know customer is going to take a screenshot and going to put it on social. So you cannot afford it. So there should be a quality check happening on the agents time to time, making sure that they are following the right macros and right response copies in order to respond to the customer. The third thing that is very, very important is that you are making sure that there is a quality score that is maintained and crisis playbook is followed. So for example, for everything, you should have a playbook in picture, be it social media, be ORM, be crisis. And you have to make sure that your people are following that playbook only. They are not just going blindly by their own choice, but they should be following a playbook. And they should be a bias detection metric. So bias detection metric is a metric that detects and quantifies biases in text, including political, gender, cultural biases, helping to promote more balanced and fair content. So you have to make sure that the content you're putting out on Quora, or maybe you're putting out on social, is following that metric along with multilingual semantic search. So I think these are some things that defines the matrix of ORM. Well, I think it would be real-time fact checking. So basically, this is a feature that would have instantly checked facts, claims, or statements made in online content. This would have helped user discern the accuracy of information. So I think this is something which I really would like to have, which is real-time fact checking. As soon as I get a complaint, I would know by real-time fact checking that it's a crisis or it's a normal complaint, or if it's going to get viral or not. So basically a tool that can check the SRS score of the complaint and telling me, okay, this is going to get viral if you don't respond it within 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Basically, as soon as the complaint is there on the platform, that feature is giving me a red or a green or a yellow alert, telling me it's something that needs urgent attention or something that can be answered within next 2 hours or something that we can delay. So if I get something like that, it would really help me, because right now that's all manual in the ORM industry. See, it's evolving. I'll tell you how. Earlier, as I was telling you earlier in this conversation, that a person who's doing customer service used to do ORM as well. They didn't know ORM as a different term. All they knew was that the complaint that are getting on social media also needs to be answered by people who are handling complaints coming on email or calls. Now they have a different team doing that. If you go to LinkedIn also and check jobs also for ORM, you will see that their desired qualification that they are looking for is 3 to 5 years, because they are not getting candidates who have more than 5 years of experience in ORM. Certification is something which you just take it out from your mind. You will hardly find individuals who are ORM certified. You would not, because from over the last 1 or 2 years they have started ORM certifications specific into ORM. Otherwise they were not. They were just marketing certifications that were happening, no ORM certifications. But now big companies, you talk about Unilever, or you talk about Google India, or you talk about Amazon or Flipkart, or any big companies, e-commerce sites you're talking about, when they post an ORM vacancy, also be for manager ORM or assistant manager ORM, which is a big profile, wherein if you post it for AM operations, they would look for 7 to 8 years of experience. When they post the same profile for ORM, they hardly look for 3 to 5 years of experience, because they know that when they will do the sourcing and screening, they would not find people who will get more than 5 years of experience. So it seems to be very new in the market. I am somebody who has more than 10 years of experience, but even I don't have contacts with me wherein I know people who have more than 10 years of experience in ORM. I don't. The maximum I know is people who have 4 years of experience. That's max I know. So I think this is the field that is actually evolving at the field that's actually evolving with time, and it will take some time, but I am happy to see that companies are now not mixing ORM with different domains of their company, be brand or be corpcom or be customer service. ORM is now altogether different. Companies have made crisis playbook, a different team that works with legal team, customer service team, social media team, brand team, and in total, and that is a core team which is ORM. So I think I'm happy to see that this is a very evolving domain at the moment, but let's see how it goes. I'm very happy that I'm one of the people who have like that much of experience, but I would really like to see more people coming into this field, getting more certifications added in the list, and yeah. I think that 2 things that I want to tell them. First, an advice that I want to give them as improving their personality is that they have to embrace their ethics. You have to uphold ethical standards in your ORM practices. You have to be honest, you have to be transparent, and you have to respect for privacy. I mean, respecting the privacy are key. These are the key you could say parameters that will be responsible for building trust with clients and their audiences if you are working for an agency for that. Networking and collaborating is very important. You have to build a network with other ORM professionals and digital marketers. You will find that there are very less ORM professionals out there. So you all have to make sure that you hunt. You should have that notch in yourself that I have to hunt and I have to find the ORM community and have to connect with them and get more certifications and get more knowledge as much as I can. And the last thing is that you have to build a solid online presence. You have to make sure that you start by establishing your own online presence through social media, or maybe through a personal website and professional profiles. And this will definitely help you understand the dynamics of online reputation and how individuals manage their digital presence and personas. So I think that is all that I want to say. Just make sure that you develop a solid foundation and you stay informed. Yeah. Staying informed is the most crucial thing.